All right, light up those pumpkins, everybody, because we are live. What's up, everybody? I'm Matt with Halloween Daily News, and I want to thank you for joining me tonight for an HDN live special report. I see some friends are already in the live chat tonight. Some of my regular viewers and conversationalists and Halloween fanatics are in the house tonight from Michael Myers Mondays. That's when we do our weekly live chat, if you're not familiar with the channel. My friend David Suber is here. Just saw him last weekend at Mad Monster Expo. Dave, I wish we'd had more time to chat as well, but I know you had places to be, and so did I. It was a crazy weekend, a totally awesome weekend. And Ken's in here, and I see Brett is in here. Thanks for being here, guys. What we're going to do tonight, this is a little bit different and a little bit unplanned. I didn't think earlier today I was going to be doing this tonight. I was just putting together tomorrow's episode of the Halloween show. And then we got this Halloween Kills breaking news earlier this evening about the release now being simultaneous in theaters and on Peacock streaming network. So we're going to talk about that, and we're also going to talk about this new footage that was released this evening in conjunction with that release announcement. A lot of good stuff in there we're going to go over. Now, just so you guys know, it's this is not an official episode of the Halloween show. It's not an episode of Michael Myers Monday. This is just an HDN Live special report. So we're really just going to focus on tonight's news because it's pretty significant, and this new footage, and break it down like we would any big trailer release. And of course, we're doing it live to include you guys. I want to hear your feedback and get your thoughts on some of this as we go forward. And I know there's a ton of Halloween Kills specific news this week. A lot yesterday. The world premiere, of course. Reactions from that world premiere. A new track from the soundtrack was released. A new image was officially released. Tons of Halloween Kills news, and tons has been happening since our last Michael Myers Monday live almost 2 weeks ago now. But again, some of that I'm gonna table a lot of that for tonight. And we're just going to hold off, and I'm going to talk about some of that on tomorrow's episode of the Halloween show. And I'm going to talk about all of that and everything that's happened over the last 2 weeks with this franchise on this Monday's live stream. That'll be this Michael Myers Monday live at 10:31 p.m. here on the HDN channel. That's this Monday night. Now, I'm going to really just concentrate on this evening's news. Like I said, that's what we're focusing on. It's pretty significant. And again, we're going to break down that new footage. That being said, though, again, I want to thank my regular friends and viewers out there for joining me tonight. This is a little last minute, so thanks for being here. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. I see Chad has joined. Thank you for being here. Yes, David, at least we got to say hi. Absolutely, man. And I'm going to be talking much more about our adventures at Mad Monster and our trip there and back and the Hallow hunting adventures. I've got lots to talk about, lots of stories to share, and some news items too, and a pretty fun and cool unboxing that you guys, Myers fans, are going to want to see. That's going to be dropping here on the channel real soon. But again, tonight we're just going to focus. Again, tonight we're just going to focus on this evening's breaking news. So let's start with that. The story, as you've heard by now, I'm sure, October 15th, Halloween Kills will now open in theaters as scheduled and also on the Peacock streaming network. That is NBC Universal's streaming network. It's basically, you can think of it as Universal Plus. It's their version of Disney Plus or Paramount Plus. That is their premium streaming service. And it is free to install Peacock and to have it. I have it installed. There's a free version where you can watch a very limited amount of programming, but it is basically a premium service similar to Disney Plus. They have a $5 plan which has commercials, and then they have an ad-free plan for $10 a month. So that means that starting on the 15th of October, just over a month away now, on opening night, you'll be able to sit at home and watch the new Michael Myers movie, or you'll be able to go to your theater. So that leads directly into our conversation tonight. And I want to turn it over to you guys. And here's some comments right now from you guys in the live chat. Does this affect your plans of how you're going to view Halloween Kills this October, be it your first viewing or your second or third viewings or whatever? Are you still going to the theater as planned? Are you going to say, no, I'd rather just chill at home and watch it from my couch? Are you going to do both? And if so, which one are you going to do first? Which one are you going to do opening night? I want to hear from you guys. Let's see. Got Michael Mullane says, hi all, first time here. Welcome, Michael. Thanks for being here. It's me, says, I'm scared the movie's going to flop. What are your thoughts? I'm not scared it's going to flop. Not at all. And again, I'll dig into more of the reactions from the premiere during Michael Myers Monday Live this Monday night. And I know, a lot of people today are kind of obsessing over Rotten Tomatoes scores and certain critics' reviews and whatever. I don't obsess over any of that stuff. I mean, honestly, there's tons of movies that critics hated when they were released, and some still hate that I love, and vice versa. There's plenty of movies that got rave reviews that I didn't think were that special. So, my personal opinion, I'm not worried about any of that, and I'm not worried about box office. I think what this comes down to, it's Universal seeing what's going on in the country with COVID numbers, seeing what's going on everywhere, and just taking into account. And they're also considering what Candyman did at the box office, which was great. Made a ton of money at the box office, but they're looking at all of these scenarios, and at the same time, yeah, they want to beef up their premium service. They want to beef up Peacock. So if they can give people an option similar to what Warner Brothers has done all year, still releasing their movies in theaters, but also having the option on HBO Max, well, then there you go. That's what they're doing, kind of following the Warner Brothers model, starting with Halloween Kills, it sounds like. Whether or not they're going to do this in other movies, I don't know. But, I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it's a smart idea personally. For Universal, I think it gives people more options, and it definitely, while it might cut down on some of the box office, I wouldn't worry. If you're the Universal, they're not going to be worrying about that quite as much at this moment in time, just given the fact that half the country is still not going to be going to a theater in October, regardless, unless things drastically change in the next 4 weeks. So this way, at least the film will be seen. The audience will be able to get it however they feel safest and most comfortable. And yeah, I don't know if you guys saw Jamie Lee Curtis's video that she posted on Instagram tonight, kind of along with the announcement. And but yeah, I appreciate that it was the decision was made, and certainly that this beats any type of delay or anything like that. I did say on a couple Monday nights when asked that I did not think there was any way that this was going to be delayed. And if anything regarding the release were to change, that it would be possibly going to Peacock early. And so here we are. It's going to Peacock early. It's going to Peacock simultaneously when it's opening in theaters. So there we go. Let me catch up with some of you guys' comments here. David's going to see it 2 or 3 times in a theater. Chad's going to the theater. Larry is here. Thanks, man. Thanks for being here. Yep, David says film critics don't know shit. Yeah, that's pretty much. And, there was the one review a lot of people shared and commented on. A certain reviewer at Variety. Actually, I didn't read the review. I read the first sentence of like 1 or 2 reviews, and they had spoilers like right there in the first sentence with no warning or anything, so I didn't read any of the reviews. I didn't want to read any of the reviews. I just wanted to maybe read the first sentence or paragraph, but even that was too much, and I shouldn't have gone there. So I didn't read any of them, but I did see the post that people, apparently in the Variety review, the reviewer said that Halloween was basically a ripoff of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which, the movies have very little, if anything, in common. So that's ridiculous that person is reviewing a movie like this. But that's a whole nother story. So yeah, we got David and Chad are definitely going to the theater. Um, Brett's going to do both, theater and Peacock. Our family already has service for all the WWE content already, so you've already got it. So cool. So you're going to take advantage of the fact that you've already got Peacock, which is great, and watch it at home as often as you like, which is awesome, and still go to the theater. So there you go, best of both worlds, and I think that's a smart thing for Universal at this point, given the state of everything. Which, I mean, again, we don't know what's going to be going on in 4 weeks. We don't know if theaters are going to have to start cutting attendance again. I mean, it's, you know, the news isn't very good when it comes to COVID right now, and I don't think any of us want to think about stuff like that. But so I think it's a good move. I think we're all still going to be able to see it as soon as we want to see it and feel great watching it, no matter what your preference is. Personally, my game plan at this moment is to still see it premiere night at the local theater, and then probably get it on Peacock at some point, maybe even for Halloween night or something like that. I don't know. But I definitely am hoping to still see it in the theater. Then again, I appreciate that I now have the option if things are sketchy, a lot more sketchy than they are now. Because they're getting pretty sketchy right now. Let's see. It's Me is going to the movies to see it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Then we'll watch it on Peacock. And says, I'm vaccinated. Yep. There you go. Yeah, I'm vaccinated too, and so that gives me a little better feeling going to the theater at least. That's a good point. Ken's gonna couch it. Theater around him is permanently closed. Okay. Michael's for sure seeing it in theater first. He says, I do wonder if this was planned the whole time, or were they waiting for the reviews to come out? I don't think it was planned the whole time, and I don't think it's based on the reviews. I was considering that because, the reviews just came out yesterday, and yeah, in the a lot of the reviews it's kind of mixed. But again, the people that know horror and what I'm hearing about it, it's everything that I want to hear about it. There were some funny memes about, oh my gosh, people complaining that there's too much violence in a movie called Halloween Kills. I mean, I made a tweet yesterday that, imagine how bold it is to put the word kills in your slasher horror movie and, and actually deliver on that. And it sounds like they have. So, yeah, no, I don't think it was planned. I don't think they decided it today. I think it was planned. Universal made this decision. I think Universal made this decision, probably a few days ago, given the numbers, given the data. But yeah, I think they purposely didn't want to announce it until after the world premiere. I think in a perfect world for them, the premiere would have come out. The Rotten Tomatoes score would have been 100%, and then they announced today, oh, and by the way, it's going to be on Peacock as well on the same day. I think that's what they were hoping the impact would be. You know what I mean? So I think it was planned in that sense. I don't think it was done in reaction to any of the negative reviews. Because again, I mean, I saw just as much positive stuff, and even some reviews that were, kind of pointed out some negative and some positive points of it. And again, I only saw some headlines of these reviews. I didn't read the reviews, and I saw the tweets. But as far as the actual article reviews, I didn't read any of those. But the tweets that I shared in our article, some of those, pointed out even some negative points. But the positive points that I'm seeing only get me more excited. And this footage we're about to take a look at certainly has me more than excited. All right, Sammy is in the house. What's up? Happy Michael Myers Thursday, I guess we're going to call it for now. Yeah, Brett said they did say it was coming out October 2021, no matter what. Yep. Tommy Boy says, what's up, man? Enjoy the show. Thanks for being here. Byron is here. What's up, man? Thank you. Anthony is here. Anthony's not happy with what's going on Peacock. Not happy that it's streaming at the same time. At least it's still they didn't pull it from theaters or something ridiculous like that. I mean, yeah, I don't have a problem with it streaming at the same time. Byron hopes everything with the pandemic is fully over by the time Halloween Ends comes out. I certainly hope so. That would be great. David said some of the reactions said they nailed the 78 feel. Yep, I even saw one reaction that said that the cinematography is very Dean Cundy like, which gets me really excited. Sammy's definitely going to be seeing it the night it comes out in theaters. Very cool. And Byron thinks the Rotten Tomatoes score will be fresh by October 15th. Yeah. I mean, again, that's another thing I was going to point out on that, and then we're going to move on to this footage. But I do think you have to keep in mind the Venice Film Festival. It's a very big international prestigious film festival, and it was incredibly cool to have a horror movie, any horror movie, play there, much less world premiere there, much less it be Halloween Kills. And then for them to honor Jamie Lee Curtis, I mean, did you guys see that video of her walking up there to the to Sweet Dreams, and she uh, took off her heels and just went on up there and got her reward, and David Gordon Green was there. It was just awesome. It was awesome. And then she put her acceptance speech on Instagram, and it's super inspirational and great. I love all that, but you have to keep in mind it's not a horror film festival. It's not necessarily horror fans there. I mean, that's not to say that there weren't any in attendance for any of those screenings, but it's not that event. It's not like it's premiering, at a genre film festival. This is a straight up prestigious film festival, international film festival, international audiences too. We're only getting a very small percentage of the reactions of people that saw that. Just what we're seeing here in America on our feeds and some of the publications that we read. So you got to keep that in mind too. Wait until horror film critics and film fans get to see it. Those are the opinions, if any, that I value more. And honestly, because I often write reviews for these films on our website, if it's something I'm excited to see and planning to review myself, then I just generally will not read anybody else's review before seeing the film. I don't want their thoughts and their points, and I don't want to be that to subconsciously enter my brain even when I'm watching it, because it will. Not because I'm trying to think about that review, but it will subconsciously go in there, and I want as little of that as possible. I've already got enough of that from the marketing and just from doing my job as a journalist and covering this stuff. So as much of that as I can avoid, I do as far as reviews. And as far as just excitement as a fan, yeah, I mean, I've never cared about a Rotten Tomatoes score in my life as far as films that I'm excited for. I think Rotten Tomatoes is kind of pointless anyway, honestly. I can't believe so many films put it on their Blu-ray covers and actually on the printed packaging now. It's I guess it's like the new 2 thumbs up from Siskel and Ebert, but I don't know. Those guys were cooler and actually made more sense sometimes, I think. So anyway, that's again, we can talk more about some of the reactions from the premiere on Monday night during Michael Myers Monday, but let's go ahead and get into this new footage now. I'm gonna pull it up, and it's only about 30 seconds long. I know you guys have seen it. It was released tonight, and it's got about half the stuff is stuff we've already seen before, either in mostly in the previously released trailer, or you might have seen some of the advertisements going on in the Instagram stories where we've gotten some other little extended bits here and there with the firefighters and so forth. So I'm going to we're going to pull it up, and then we're really going to concentrate on the half of the images and the half of the footage that is pretty new to us. And again, spoiler alert if you don't want to see anything, because there is some stuff, but I don't think it's any more spoilery than what we've already seen in the official trailer. So if you were here when we did that breakdown a few months ago, then I don't think there's anything in this that's any more spoilery than that. Of course, there, arguably some spoilers in there, but we're just going to go with what we see, and we're not going to speculate too far on things. We're so close to the film being here, and again, you guys in the live chat, obviously keep it cool. If you're new here, yeah, we don't do spoilers. We don't traffic in spoilers. We can talk. We can talk about what we see and what we think, and just what it feels like to see these images, because there's some really cool stuff, and then we'll put it into perspective in relation to the reactions from the premiere and that new image that was released this week, and so much more. So let's go ahead and get into that right now. Yeah, now this is again, it's just a bit of footage that was released tonight in conjunction with the announcement about the Peacock simultaneous release. All right, so we're going to go on over here. And of course, it starts with some of what we've seen before. Laurie's house, the shape emerging from the flames of hell, much like the trailer opened. And there he is. I mean, just looking as badass as can be already. We haven't even seen anything yet, but here he comes. And again, I'm going to have the volume down because I'm just going to be commenting on this and kind of reading your comments as we go. I love that shot. I love the flames in the background. Again, we've already seen this. Also, right now, there's the trick or treat going on. You hear the kids chanting, trick or treat, give me something good to eat, over and over and over. I think we'll dub this the trick or treat spot, or the trick or treat promo. And then we cut to this new image of JLC as Laurie Strode. Looks like she's in the hospital. Again, we've seen some of these shots from inside Haddonfield Memorial Hospital a couple times now. We've seen Laurie looking, well, here it looks like she's not in the hospital bed. I don't know who she's looking at through the glass, what's going on there, but not too happy. What do you guys think is happening in this scene? Yeah, it's hard to see if she's this is later in the movie and she's possibly seeing the mob gathering, or if that's one of the other characters she's looking at, um, that the doctors are maybe working on. And here he comes. And again, we're getting little bits of the new soundtrack in this whole time, and it is just badass. I mean, that new track Rampage is awesome. And here we get even more bits of the new soundtrack. Sammy says that Lori looks like she's having a flashback. That's a good point. It very well could be maybe where she's having some thoughts and then it shoots back to 78. Ken singing some Stone Sour. I like it. And again, I said this before in the trailer breakdown, but Michael just looking as only Michael can. The coolest killer there is. Stepping out of those flames. And here's the shot of Allison. We've seen this image before. Um, a couple times before. It was in the trailer, and I believe it was in the trailer, and it was in the one of the teasers that was released before the official trailer. Lots of speculation where she might be. I'm guessing this is probably around the time of her confrontation with Michael that we saw more of in the official trailer released a few months ago. And a lot of these scenes, these new scenes, are from what was described to be in the second trailer that dropped 2 weeks ago at CinemaCon in Vegas, if you'll remember. We also got reactions to that right ahead of the world premiere. And so we've gotten a good taste now of what is in that second trailer in this promo video here. And there's a new shot. We saw pieces of this in the trailer, but this is definitely a different angle and a different shot. Yeah, these people obviously not in good shape, but man, I love the imagery here. First of all, I can't say enough about how excited I am to have the Silver Shamrock masks back in canon in this franchise. I mean, it is so great that these masks are not only just a fun little Easter egg like they were in the 2018 film, but right here you can see the masks are used once again to even more better effect. And key for me, I gotta say, I love that you can clearly see the Silver Shamrock button, the power chip on the back of the jack-o'-lantern mask. Right there, as it should be. Yeah, I love that. I also love that you've got the candy spread out all over. This is at a playground. So, again, that sense of danger. And, yeah, the boogeyman is real. And he is doing some serious damage to Haddonfield on this night. Moving on. Again, I love that it's at the playground. Just playing on those primal fears of innocent kids at a playground. Man, I love the use of the Silver Shamrock masks that we've seen so far in this movie. There's a great look at the skull. Look at that Don Post skull mask originally. That is awesome. Can even see her eyes still open, it looks like. You can see that one left eye open in this shot. That is awesome. And yeah, and how they get into this position, how they end up like this, I can only imagine. Yeah, there was some speculation that they were Julian's parents, but that David Gordon Green did say last year during the Halloween 2018 Twitter watch party that they are not, in fact, Julian's parents. And there's a quick shot of Nurse Marion. Again, we got a hint of this in one of the previous teasers. And if you know your Halloween history, like I know some of you guys do, then this obviously rings a bell. This is obviously a nod to Michael's escape from Smith's Grove in the original 78 film. There's Nurse Marion, played once again by Nancy Stevens, returning to the franchise for her fourth film, playing this character. She also reprised it in Halloween 2 in 81, and also in H2O. And we, of course, had that image released from Fandango earlier this week that has Michael on the roof of a vehicle. So you can put 1+1 together and see that they are clearly recreating that iconic scene of Michael jumping on the roof out there at Smith's Grove in the opening of the 78 film. He bashes the window in where Nurse Marion is sitting. If you remember, you can even see the wrench in Nick Castle's hand in that scene, famously. Um, so we're going to get a very cool homage to that right here. David says, y'all watch Michael float up on the top of the SUV. Just like he did in 78. Michael says, I do love the return of Nurse Marion. I'm excited uh, about this scene. Yeah, I think it's going to be great to see how they pay homage to so much of the 78 stuff with these legacy characters. Michael says, Michael looks badass in this scene. Yes, he does. Mikey says, I'm excited that the original Lindsay Wallace is going to be in this one. Yep. Great Kyle Richards is back. So awesome to have so many legacy characters. Of course, Anthony Michael Hall taking over as Tommy. David says James Hugh Courtney didn't use a wrench. No, I don't think he did. It's me says I can't wait for this movie. Oh, same here. All right, let's move on to the next little bit. And there she is pulling out that pistol. Good luck, Marion. Chad says, too bad Donald isn't still alive to be with Marion. Yeah, she needs Sam Loomis to help her out. I'm wondering if that's Sam Loomis's pistol, though. You know what I mean? It's a great shot of Marion in frantic fear right there. And again, here he comes. And throughout this whole thing, you hear the trick or treat chant. Give me something good to eat. More of the Carpenter score. And here he comes. I've called it swagger before. It is a certain coolness to the shape that I gotta say no other movie monster or killer has. And I love Leatherface and Jason and Freddy but they just don't have that they just don't have that same coolness. And again, we've seen a bit of this before. The older couple in the trailer, they are attacked at their home. It looks like that's kind of reminiscent to when Michael was reaching in at Laurie's house to try to get to her through her door. Actually, in that still right there, you can see a little bit of James's eye right there through the darkness of the mask hole. It's pretty awesome. Great shot right there, just showing off the brutality of Michael Myers in this film, and a good look at the mask as well. Chad says his pistol was a revolver, so it could be. Yep. Ken says, wonder if she was more frightened in that scene compared to the older version. That's a good question. I'd love to interview Nancy Stevens, and I mean, she's one of the icons of this franchise, and has been in, like I said, 4 films now in this franchise, which a lot of people can't say. So I think after Danielle Harris and Donald and Jamie Lee Curtis, she's probably got the record. David says he looks kind of like the Frankenstein monster right there. Yep, I can see that. And I do think that, this whole film is going to have a bit of a Frankenstein theme to it somewhat, if you think about how the mob of Haddonfield is a bit like the villagers with their torches. Now, the big difference is, the Frankenstein monster, in my book, it was always pretty innocent. He just didn't know better. He was like a big child and didn't know what he was doing. The doctor was the bad guy in Frankenstein. Here, Michael is clearly the bad guy, and he's there's not really any innocence to him or to anything he's doing. But I do think as it applies to the Haddonfield residents becoming this angry mob that's going to be out for vigilante justice, yeah, that reminds me a lot of the villagers of in Frankenstein. And if you look at that design, that key art design from Fright Rags on one of their T-shirts, and Ben from Fright Rags even said that they put the torch in there not because it's actually in the movie, but because it really just kind of fit, and because it did. They took some artistic license because it kind of harkens back to the Frankenstein story, which that particular design and elements of this film will clearly have some likeness to. Mikey says, "Yup, Michael Myers is the king. Yes, he is." Ryan Korn is in the house for Michael Myers Thursday. What's up, man? Awesome. Thanks for being here, Ryan. It's Me is asking, heard they changed the ending in another part of the movie. Is that true? I don't know. I don't know what the ending was originally going to be, and I don't know what it is now. I couldn't tell you on that. I've not heard of any reshoots, if that's what you're asking. That doesn't mean that things haven't changed in the almost 2 years since they wrapped filming. But no, I don't know. Who is he grabbing there? Mikey asks. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's somebody we're gonna know. I mean, it appears to be. I mean, just judging from what we've seen in the trailer and so forth, it appears to be the husband of the cemetery caretaker, because you're going to see her in just a minute. And the way it's edited, it's like they're in the same house. I believe they are. And you're going to see her in just a minute. She's played by an actress named Diva Tyler, and she did appear briefly in the 2018 film. You'll be able to see her in just a minute. So there she is. It looks like she's going to try to fight Michael off. It looks like everybody in Haddonfield is going to do their best to try to fight Michael and do battle with evil. How that's going to pan out for him, if any of those reactions coming out of the world premiere last night are any indication, I don't think it's going to pan out very well for most of them. Let's see. And there's a good shot of Lindsay Wallace. Speaking of Kyle Richards as Lindsay Wallace. Uh, Again, we've caught glimpses of this scene in the trailer and elsewhere, but there we can see she's running, presumably from Michael, who I'm guessing is walking very patiently right behind her. Yeah, it's great to have Kyle Richards back involved in this. I think that was one of the awesome moves, not just bringing back the legacy characters, but getting some of these legacy actors to come back and reprise the roles, along with JLC, of course. Kyle Richards, I interviewed her actually back in 2013. That year it was the 35th anniversary of the original 78 film. And I interviewed her and I asked her back then if they ever made you an offer to come back for another Halloween film, would you be down with it? And she told me back then that absolutely she would love to, she wanted to, and she was fired up to do it as early as 2013 when we spoke then. So the fact that it all worked out and now she is back in the new film, I think it's great. And as far as the legacy of Halloween, it can't hurt to expose this franchise to yet another genre, another segment of the audience. And I'm talking about Kyle's Real Housewives fans that probably aren't as familiar with her as Lindsay Wallace as we are. But I think they're probably going to be in for a shock. And if what we've heard from Jamie Lee Curtis in interviews over the last 2 years is an indication, it sounds like she really does a great job in her performance in the film, reprising the role. So I'm super excited to see it. I don't know how much screen time any of these legacy characters are going to get. Again, it might just be very small scenes with some of them. We're just going to have to wait and see. Ken said he's headbanging the head with a beat from the group Queen. Boom, boom, clap. Yeah. Chad says Michael Myers is the power walking champ since 78. You got that right. Ken saying, is that him across the street in darkness if you look close from the right side of her head? I think I kind of see what you're talking about. It could be him. It's hard to tell. I can't really make it out if it is. But again, that's the way we kind of want the shape, right? Just a shape in the background that we may or may not see. It might just be our eyes playing tricks on us. All right, let's move on a little bit. Yeah, I don't see him in that background now. But he's back there somewhere, you can bet. Or is he waiting behind a tree right in front of her? And here we go. Somebody loading up their gun, getting ready. Some quick shots of the vigilantes of Haddonfield getting ready to take justice into their own hands and go hunt down Michael Myers. At least they hope. Got a quick shot of Karen in, looks like back at the hospital there, maybe. Yeah, something not good is happening right there for Karen. Chad says Michael is the scariest on the fringes of the scene. Then he slowly is illuminated. Yes, absolutely. David thinks it is Michael by the third light back there. Should we go back and see? Just to try to. That could be the third light from the left. You mean? Can barely see a silhouette. That could be him back there. So what's going on here? Are we in the middle of the mob or back at the hospital? Maybe they just got Lori into the hospital. Maybe this is still early in the film. I mean, I don't know how everybody's going to wind up where they're at. We've seen shots of Allison, all the Strode women at the hospital. We've also seen shots of what appears to be all of the Strode women also at what appears to be maybe the Myers house. So how and when each of the three of them and in what combination they are at the hospital and not at the hospital and at the Myers house and not at the Myers house. It's hard to tell. But Karen clearly not having a good Halloween. Brett says, nice Christmas sweater, Karen. Yep. Still got that Christmas sweater. David says, somebody got killed. Yep. Yep. Ken says, somebody she knew in the hospital got killed, family or friends. And here we go. This is Tommy grabbing his bat, which it looks like he named Old Huckleberry, which I don't know. I took as a reference to the movie Tombstone. You know, Val Kilmer's Doc Holliday. I'm your Huckleberry. Great lines. It's me says something was happening outside the hospital. She's looking outside the hospital. That could be it. Like maybe she's looking and Lori's looking and they're seeing Michael doing something outside the hospital. It's definitely possible. We got some Halloween lights there in this shot. We got some Halloween garland. And we got Tommy grabbing his old Huckleberry. Also, looks like Tommy became quite the baseball fan. He remained the baseball fan, if this is his house, because there's a photo of some old school baseball players up there in the right-hand corner. Chad says he thinks somehow Michael ends up at the hospital and the mob ends up there to kill him. David says the bat is coming off the wall in a bar. That could be. He's just grabbing the nearest thing closest to him. That could make sense that Tommy was just hanging at the local Haddonfield bar. That would be a perfect time, by the way, for them to play the Silver Shamrock commercial. He's in that bar. Maybe even have him say the Tom Atkins line, like, hey, can you change the channel or something? Tommy, a.k.a. Negan, Ken says. Nice. And I love this shot right here of Anthony Michael Hall as our new Tommy Doyle, basically leading the Haddonfield residents, the mob, if you will, the vigilantes. And yeah, they've clearly heard that Michael is back, that people are dead, and they are in the streets on Halloween night. And they're hunting him down. You've just kind of got some faceless Haddonfielders in the background, it appears. I love that Tommy's front and center. I love the red lighting, just adding to the anger and fury of the whole scene. And this also brings to mind the Halloween 4, when the residents of Haddonfield are also kind of hunting down Michael and taking the law into their own hands when they feel that the sheriff's department can't handle it. Yep. So you all, it's pretty unanimous. He's getting the bat from a bar. It sounds like that makes more sense. And yeah, we did see that still from behind the scenes, or it was from the behind the scenes video, the rap video, when they wrapped production back in 2019. That yes, there was that shot of Tommy, Lindsay, and Marion, I believe, and it did seem like they were outside of the bar, so that could very well be where they all get word of what's going on. But again, I love that shot. I think that's just going to be very emblematic of what's going down in this movie. And speaking of the mob, here they are. You know, that's some of Warren County's finest trying to hold the Haddonfielders back. And in the official trailer, that's at this point you can actually hear the mob chant. They chant it 3 times in that trailer. Evil dies tonight. And in this one, you can't really hear those words as much, but you can. Again, it's the trick or treat chant going on in the background, and more of Carpenter's music at this point in this. Here we saw a bit of this in the trailer. That, of course, is Cameron finally coming face to face with Michael. And yeah, of all the characters, he's kind of got it coming. I don't know. I didn't like him in 2018 too much, and thought Allison deserved better anyway. So I thought he got off a little too easy in 2018. Looks like they're going to correct that. Somebody's going to correct that in the sequel. Chad says he wonders if Eddie Lee is back from Russellville. That's great. Ken says Michael come out to play. That's a good Warriors reference. That's good. Yeah, not gonna go well for Cameron. And here it looks like they're both again looking outside. You know, maybe Michael's just massacring a whole bunch of those Haddonfield residents right now that were out there chanting "Evil dies tonight." I mean, yeah, what is he gonna? Is he just gonna start plowing people down in truck or something? This goes along with that still that was released last week as well from USA Today. And again, teasing what we know is going to be pretty much the opening of the film, that Michael getting out of the blazing house where the Strode women left him and about to take care of some business. ETV's here. What's up, man? Larry says they don't know who or what they're up against. That is the truth. That is an understatement. All right, we're nearing the end of this teaser. There's a great shot right there. Great look at the mask. You got the water coming down over, kind of cleaning it off a little bit. Just the raging fires of hell going on behind him. and I would argue inside of him in this movie. That's a cool image right there. One of these firefighters, you can see the reflection of Michael right there in his mask. That is awesome. God, I already feel so bad for all these firefighters, but man, it is going to be an epic scene. That is a cool image, you guys. I mean, look at the shape right there. Just his silhouette framed by flames. That is badass. And this is a great shot. This is even more from that firefighter massacre. We didn't see this particular shot in the trailer that I remember. And here he comes. Yeah, he just looks great. Everything looks great in this shot. And we're going to get just a little taste of some of this carnage. No pun intended. There's Laurie again. We saw a bit of this in the official trailer, in the full trailer. I'm going to guess that this is later on in the movie. We see shots of her in the hospital bed, in the hospital gown, kind of harkening back to the original Halloween 2. But here, it looks like maybe later in the movie, she's dressed again, means business, ready to go join the hunt for the shape. And she's got that knife. That's that same knife that, if you'll remember, 2018, Allison used on the shape. And it ended with Allison holding it. And I've speculated that this one should start right on that frame that 2018 ended. That would be cool. But here we've got Laurie holding it. A lot of blood on that knife. That's a good little bit of some of that violence right there. This poor firefighter, Michael, is taking out. You can just see that mask getting shattered. JLC with the top billing above the title, of course. And this is when she says the line that I want to take off his mask and see the life leave his eyes. That is a great line. And then we see just a minute, she's going to be, or somebody's going to be trying to remove that mask. I imagine it's Laurie because that appears to be her new mission here. She wants to remove his mask and see the life leave his eyes. What do you guys think of that line? And again, where this falls in the film in relation to those other shots. I mean, here She's wearing the hospital gown again. You know, very again reminiscent of Halloween 2, 81. I think everything in the hospital will remind us franchise fans about Halloween 281 just automatically in that setting. There's Karen for a minute. Now she's outside the hospital. Not sure what's happening there. It flashes real quick. I think she's going down to pick up his mask, probably. And here's where we get just some super quick shots. We see Karen outside. Here we have Allison. Again, an extension of the scene from the trailer where she's facing Michael. They're wrestling here. She's got a knife in that scene. And then here, Laurie or somebody goes for his mask. It doesn't look like Karen's sweater arm reaching for it, so maybe somebody else removes it, and it's Karen that picks it up. But this is pretty much how the spot ends, with presumably Laurie trying to do exactly what she said: take off his mask and watch the light leave, watch the life leave his eyes. She wants to take off his mask and watch the life leave his eyes. And there you see they are fighting. She's getting there a little bit. She's trying. Larry said Allison was holding that knife just like Michael does. David thinks this is Allison's arm. Chad thinks it's Allison as well. Whoever it is, they got him a little bit blinded there, it looks like. It's been a long time since somebody's really gone for the mask and tried to remove it from Michael. Laurie tried in 78, and it did throw him off. That just for those few seconds, for that Tony Moran scene when it's unmasked Michael, that is the few seconds in that whole film where we see Michael flustered. You know, we see him confused. We see him insecure, and he's kind of fumbling around, like can't complete his mission without his mask. So it's not a bad idea to try to remove it. Of course, it's definitely going to piss him off, as if he wasn't already. And so there we go with the title treatment. And yeah, I don't think I can catch those other stills any tighter than that. And as you can see now, in theaters and streaming on Peacock, starting on October 15th. Go, guys. That is the new footage. There's the new 30-second promo spot released this evening with the announcement that Halloween Kills will now premiere on Peacock and in theaters simultaneously on October 15th. And if you happen to be watching this after our live stream tonight, I'd also love to hear your thoughts on all of this. Feel free to comment down below. I'll be going over some of the comments and reactions to this news, both from the live chat and from the comments when we do our next Michael Myers Monday live stream this coming Monday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern here. Chad says she has fingernail polish, talking about that arm trying to rip off the mask. He's thinking, Allison, it's me, thinks it has to be Karen. Dave says Lori has on a black shirt. Yeah, it's hard to tell exactly who that's going to be, actually trying to unmask him. We know at some point Karen is going to end up with the mask in her hands. How that happens, when in the time frame of the movie that happens, who knows? But like I said, I just do think it's very interesting and kind of fitting that they're going back to the simplicity of let's just try to take off his mask and see, convince ourselves even that this is just a man, because he certainly doesn't die like a man. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. I do still expect a full second trailer coming any day now, maybe tomorrow, maybe Monday, maybe one day next week that's not Monday. We'll have to wait and see, but I wouldn't be surprised if I would be surprised if they wait until Blumfest on October 1st to put out that second trailer. I think we'll probably get our first official clip from the film on October 1st, most likely. So yeah, I'm still looking for an extended second trailer. I think this had a lot of that footage that they saw at CinemaCon, but I do think there's more to come, and we will be here to break it down with you guys again when that happens, whether it's on a Monday night or a Friday night, or hey, they've been doing a lot of this stuff on Thursdays here this last few weeks, so maybe it'll be a Michael Myers Thursday again. I don't know, but whatever day it is, we will be here to break it down, and we'll do it live with you guys because this has been awesome, as it always is. So I'm going to get out of here in just a minute, but closing thoughts, guys. Anything you saw in that gets you even more excited, or are you just all in at this point, like I am? Like I don't need to see any more. I've seen plenty. It doesn't mean I'm not going to watch the marketing as it comes out. Of course I am, but I don't need to. I'm sold on this. Just hearing some of those reactions from the premiere, reading some of the new comments from the interviews done over in Italy, David Gordon Green and Jamie Lee Curtis, and just knowing what we know, adding it all together, going into this. Yeah, I couldn't be more excited. I think this is going to be the Halloween film that we have been wanting and craving, and I think my prediction is that it will be a fan favorite for many, many years to come. I do think so. I think 2018. I loved 2018, and some people loved it, some people not so much, but I think this one is going to just be its own dark, mean beast that is its own thing that people are going to just love. Uh, so, but what do you guys think? What do you think of the new footage? What do you think of Peacock? Well, we already talked about Peacock. Most of you guys are like me. You're still going to go see it in theater if theaters are at all open. Uh, yeah, short of them being closed down or we being back in lockdown. That's my hope and my plan. But then, yeah, maybe on Peacock as well. I don't have the paid version of Peacock right now, so I'd have to splurge for that, or maybe get a free month deal or something and do it during the month right after HK opens. Chad's already all in, going to the theater in his Michael costume. That's my man. Yep. Yep. I do that too on opening night. I did it in 2018. I'm going to have to do it this year at our local theater. I'm going to go as Michael. And we go a couple hours early so I can just stalk people as Michael. And then I'll change out of that and actually sit and chill and watch the movie. most likely wearing my new Fright Rags t-shirt, which I ordered 2 of them. Did you guys get your pre-orders in last week? I hope you did. I got mine in right before midnight on Tuesday night. I almost forgot, but I got it in, and I ordered 2 of them. I ordered the well, if you watched the Monday night, it was the 2 I said I was going to get: the movie poster one and the what they called the flagship design, the Evil Dies Tonight design. So I'll be wearing one of them on premiere night underneath my Michael coveralls, I'm sure. Dave says there's a whole bunch of TV spots out there. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other footage that is floating around out there, and I've seen some on social media, but trying to stick to the TV spots that have already been or that have been officially released online. I haven't seen a TV spot actually on TV yet, though. Let me know if you see that. But this one again was released tonight. So, but yeah, let me know. Send me a link to some of the other ones if you find them out there. If it's an officially released promo like this one. Ken says his theaters are still closed permanently. That sucks. Or just closed permanently. That's terrible. ETV's asking if I think this could affect Halloween Kills box office weekend, say 35 to 45 million. Um, yeah, I mean, I think it'll affect. I think it'll affect it. I think it'll make it make less money because some people will take that option to stay home and not go to the theater at all. But like I said before, I'm not worried about it, and I don't even think Universal is totally worried about it. I mean, this is Hollywood; it's a business. Money is the bottom line. But you got to remember, it's still 2021. We're trying to get back to normal, and COVID keeps reminding us that there is no going back to normal. It's got to be some kind of new normal, and we're all kind of still trying to figure out what that means. Studios are, theaters are, streamers are. Everybody's trying to figure it out right now. So I think there's a little bit of loss built into this year already, coming after last year. So I don't think anybody's expecting anything to really break records this year, which that's a whole other story we'll talk about on Monday. But the new Disney movie Shang-Chi just broke the Labor Day record that Rob Zombie's Halloween held for 14 years. So that's pretty damn impressive right there. That a record that stood strong for 14 years now was broken in this 2021 year. But it was also kind of the first Disney feature film they've not also released on Disney Plus. I'm pretty sure they had Black Widow and any of their other big releases since all this started also came out as a streaming option. So as soon as they took that away, it did make a ton of money. So again, we'll just have to wait and see. But I never thought that this film would be breaking records the way 2018 did. Even if there was no pandemic, I that was like a super special big event movie, and this will be for me and for you guys watching this. This new one will be that every bit as much, but for general wider audiences, I'm not going to say that they're all going to be as totally as excited about this one. Just because they saw the 2018 and it wasn't for everybody. If they didn't love it, they're not going to give this one a chance. At least not in the theater. They're going to watch it when it comes on Peacock or wherever they stream eventually. So I never thought it would break records, but I think it's going to do fine. I still think it's going to do fine when adjusted for 2021, what fine in October of 2021 is. But you saw that Venom blinked. They went back to October 1st, which is right when they opened in 2018. Venom opened 2 weeks before Halloween. Both movies made a shit ton of money. Venom made a little bit more, a lot more. And but Halloween still broke all kinds of records and was the best that this franchise ever did, and broke all kinds of records for the horror genre anyway. So I think it's going to be very similar to that. And I did say a few Mondays back, that I wasn't worried about Venom, and now Venom is not we're not worried about Venom anymore. It's that weekend belongs to Michael. And but yeah, I do think that the streaming will cut down on some box office, but I think Universal is just juggling, balancing, you know, what's good business and what's just good to get this movie out there to viewers, and also it's going to build up their uh, streaming subscriptions as well. You're going to have plenty of people that join Peacock just because of this event, so you got to keep that in mind as well. So yeah, it'll affect it, but I don't think it's going to like affect it drastically. I think it's going to still make about what it would have made with or without this streaming, give or take, you know, a little bit. But yeah, I am glad that Sony, you know, got wise and moved Venom off of that date. It just didn't make sense for anybody. And but again, then as now and now as then, you know, it's still, if you're watching this channel, you're watching this live broadcast right now, then yeah, I know which one you guys are going to see opening night. It doesn't matter what else is showing in the other theaters. So yeah, we're all going to be there and supporting it. So I think it'll do well. But 35 to 45, that's probably that's probably realistic. I think maybe 40 or 45, but yeah, again, I don't think it's going to break records necessarily, but I think it's going to do just fine. And I don't think anything's going to stop Halloween Ends from happening. Yeah, I mean, if all of us, and it's a complete and utter fan failure, and more critics see it, and it's maybe then, but I would almost think that at this point they're so far into it, close out the third chapter, and I guess technically it's fourth chapter, but third chapter of this current section of films, and then move on from that. And I don't think it's going to be that divisive. I think, again, 50-50 reviews roughly coming out of the world premiere from a festival that is not a horror festival. It doesn't have a lot of horror critics or people that really appreciate the genre checking it out in those premiere screenings. Yeah, I think when we see it, it's going to be fine. Everything I'm seeing and hearing, it's going to be great. Yeah, and it looks great. It sounds great. Yeah, and the kills. Oh my God. I mean, what is coming out about some of these kills? It just sounds amazing. ETV says, yeah, if it was normal, I think it could have come closer to what Halloween 2018 did or beat it, but I think kills can still come close. Yeah, I think it can definitely come close. Yeah, if there was no pandemic, I think it would have come close, not necessarily beat it. Again, I just think 2018 was a special kind of moment for this franchise and just for the world, that it was the right time to bring this franchise back. With sequels, you're always, I think, going to generally lose a certain amount of your audience just with it being a sequel, and you're cutting out people that didn't love the last one enough to give it a chance, or at least give it a chance in a theater. But hey, there's all of us that are going to go see it 2 or 3 times in a theater, right? So we're going to make up for a lot of them. If all of us go see it 2 or 3 times, well, I saw 2018 3 times in a theater. So I'd love to see Kills 3 times in a theater. But all right. Well, guys, it's almost 10:30. It's almost 10:31 when we normally start our live shows on Monday night. But I'm going to wrap this one up. This has been a lot of fun, and I want to thank everybody for participating in this breakdown and helping me kind of decipher and see things that maybe I didn't see or think about at first glance. Like I said, we will be back to do this again as more footage is revealed, as the second trailer eventually drops. Again, maybe it happens tomorrow, maybe it happens Monday, but whenever it happens, I plan to be back on here and do a live breakdown with you guys. And also, there's going to be a brand new episode of the Halloween show tomorrow. That will likely be a live show as well, because there's so much news to go over. We'll be hitting on some of this, but I won't be spending this much time on it. Obviously, we'll be hitting on some of the other franchise news and just some of the other Halloween news in general that has happened in the last week since our last episode last Friday. I can also tell you this is not Halloween franchise related, but Halloween Daily related. I can reveal to you guys watching this live who my next interview is because I just filmed it today. And that is going to be with the writer and director of the new Halloween horror film, Bad Candy. You're going to be hearing a lot about this film. If you're a regular viewer or reader of Halloween Daily News, then you've already heard me talking a lot about this film. I've seen it. It's great. I got a review coming. This interview is coming next week, but tomorrow, on tomorrow's Halloween show, we're going to world premiere the first little part of that interview with his name is Scott Hansen, and he is the co-writer and co-director along with his fiance Desiree Connell of the new film Bad Candy. You're going to want to check that out tomorrow, and then that full interview will be out next week sometime. And for you Myers fans, you definitely want to subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on your notifications and mark your calendars for every Monday night at 10:31 p.m. I say every Monday night. This past Monday, there was no live. I was on the road. Every now and then, there's going to be stuff like that. But in general, and especially here in the next few weeks going forward to HK, I'm planning on doing the Mondays pretty regular here and other live events as well because there's a lot happening. And it's great to be able to interact and to get some instant feedback on some of these stories. So tomorrow night, that'll be the Halloween show. Monday night, 10:31. That'll be Michael Myers Monday live. Until then, guys, I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you for watching. Thanks again, everybody. See you next time.